Hello. I'm just cooling down. But before I start, I need to thank Olivier and Vincent for this occasion and for having us, and in particular for having this symposium, colloquium, discussion. So I begin with that. And I know that Vanessa Place had given a statement, and I came with nothing. I came unprepared, in fact.
No, you didn't.
But what I did want to say was then to give, the occasion would allow me to give a formal thank you to the many people that brought me here in the last 20 years to France, into the French language, and into French poetry. That, of course, would begin with Keith and Rosemary Waldrop when I was young, and their advocacy and all the work that they've done. And then in my 20s, people like Michael Palmer and Norma Cole, John Ashbery, Cole Swenson, these people since, I was in my early 30s. And then through all the years, it began with Emmanuel Hocquart and Claude Royat-Journeau, and Pierre Alferi, Juliette Valéry, Rémi Horcade, Emmanuel Ponsard, Pascal Poyet, who translated Some Values, Eric Giraud and Eric Pesty in Marseille, Sébastien Smirou, Philippe Beck, Abigail Lang, and now Stéphane Bouquet. And in particular, I think this newest manifestation of this relationship between American and French poetry to Olivier Brossard, Vincent Broca, Sarah Riggs, and Omar Barada, and all the folks involved with Double Change, and Abigail too. Do I have that right? Yeah? Okay. So I formally say thank you. That's my statement. But I wanted to say that. It's the occasion of saying thank you because of the last few years, what's been happening in my life in real ways, and what goes on. It's important to say thank you because sometimes you don't get a chance to be part of an inspired community. So, mostly Stéphane and I are going to read from, how do you say it?
L'Exer National.
Merci. Which in English is the Outer National. Stéphane is kindly translating it. Merci.
You're welcome.
So this first poem is in 5 irregular sections, and it's entitled, the title comes from a Jess piece from a Robert Duncan essay, A Panic That Can Still Come Upon Me. If today I am calling aloud, if I break into pieces of glitter on asphalt, bits of sun, the din, if tires whine on wet pavement, everything humming, if we find we are still in motion and have arrived in Zeno's thought, like if sunshine hits marble and the sea lights up, we might know we were loved, are loved, if flames in harvest the enchanted plain. If our wishes are met with dirt and thyme, thistle, oil, heirloom, and basil, or the end result is worry, chaos, and if I should know better. If our loves are anointed with missiles, Apache fire, tomahawks, did we follow the tablets the pilgrims suggested? If we ask that every song touch its origin just once, and the years engulfed. If problems of identity confound sages, derelict philosophers, administrators, who can say, I am found, if this time you, all of it, this time, now. If nothing save Saturdays at the metro, and if rain falls sidelong in the plots, doorways onto mansard roofs, if enumerations of the fall and, if falling, cities rocked with gas fires at dawn, can you rescind the ghost double nakedness, hungry and waning, if children, soldiers, children, taken down in schools, if burning fuel? Who can't say they have seen this, and can we sing this, if in the auroras reflecting the sea, gauze touching the breast? Too bad for you, beautiful singer, unadorned by laurel, child of thunder and scapegoat alike. If the crowd in the mind becoming crowded in streets and villages and trains run next to the freeway, if exit is merely a sign.
Une panique qui peut encore me tomber dessus. Si aujourd'hui j'appelle à voix haute, si je me brise en éclats pailletés sur l'asphalte, bout de soleil, le vacarme, si les pneus couinent sur la chaussée mouillée et tout vrombit, si l'on découvre qu'on est encore en mouvement et arrivé dans la conscience de Zénon comme si le soleil frappe le marbre et la mer s'éclaire, peut-être savons-nous que nous fûmes aimés, nous sommes aimés, si flamme et moisson, la plaine enchantée. Si nos vœux ne rencontrent que crasse, étain, chardon, huile, héritage et basilic, où le résultat final est inquiétude, chaos, et si, j'aurais dû m'en douter, si nos amours sont loin de missiles, Apaches, Tomahawks, a-t-on suivi les tables que disaient les pèlerins? Si nous demandons que chaque chant touche à son origine juste une fois et les années englouties, si les problèmes d'identité déconcertent les sages, les philosophes épuisés, les administrateurs, qui peut dire « on m'a trouvé », si cette fois, toi, tout entier, cette fois maintenant, si rien sauf les samedis dans le métro et si la pluie tombe le long des porches de la Platz sur les toits mansardés, si des énumérations de la chute et si tomber des villes ébranlées à l'aube par des radiateurs à gaz, peux-tu abroger la double nudité du fantôme, affamé et s'affaiblissant? Si des enfants, des soldats, des enfants abattus dans des écoles, si des incendies d'essence, qui peut ne pas dire l'avoir vu et pouvons-nous le chanter? Si dans les reflets de l'aurore sur la mer, gaz touchant la poitrine, dommage pour toi, glorieux chanteur, non couronné de laurier, à la fois enfant du tonnerre et bouc émissaire, si la foule en esprit devient en foule dans rues et villages, et les trains passent près de l'autoroute, si sortie est seulement un panneau.
2. It isn't all right to want just anything all the time. Be specific, sky. I can read the narrow line above the hills. The day unbraids its pretty light, and I am here to see it. This must be all there is right now in the world. There are things larger than understanding, things we know cannot be held in the mind. If the sun throbs like a drum every 5 minutes, what can we do with this? The 100,000 years it takes a photon to reach the surface of the sun, 8 minutes to hit our eyes. If every afternoon gravity and fire, it's like that here, undressed, unwound.
2. Ce n'est pas bien de vouloir juste tout le temps, soit spécifique ciel. Je lis la ligne mince au-dessus des collines, le jour détresse sa belle lumière et je suis là pour voir ça. Ça doit être tout ce qu'il y a pile maintenant dans le monde. Il y a des choses plus vastes que comprendre, des choses qui, nous le savons, ne peuvent être gardées à l'esprit. Si le soleil bat comme un tambour toutes les 5 minutes, que pouvons-nous faire de cela? Les 100 000 ans qu'il faut à un photon pour atteindre la surface du soleil, 8 minutes pour nous frapper l'œil. Si chaque après-midi la gravité et le feu, c'est comme ça ici, déshabillé, déroulé.
3. If today and today I am speaking to you, or if you, I whisper, touch, explain, if they, you hate those phrases, if we struggle to get to the thing, the body and the other noises, if a W stumbles here, even in private, there was this man, we said, everywhere between us, if speech can free us. If summer, fall, winter, spring, the broadcast day spins round my head, its grin stuck out there, when I am a tiger inside the DMZ, or if I am a tiger man, if no one believes what I see. If behind the Grail and New Elm the pink light sang, welcome, earthling, my biography as an atom picture of my smile. Is this what my body said? If I forget my notebook, if these gaps I feel are also the gaps I am built inside, thinking it's all good. If the sun sharp and hot and still, but deep and clarifying, walking its boulevards. If bound by the most ignoble cords, if squatting in time. If every day a struggle, the blue cop speaking sky arching over nothing. If every struggle ice cream truck tinkle interrupting the cosmological, if every day strife, every day sprechen Sie, if every day, is this what my body says? My body said. And if I die and begin to lose consciousness in the flag, there was this man, we said, this W here, even in private. I said in my letter, if I see you again.
3. Si aujourd'hui et aujourd'hui je te parle, ou si tu, je murmure, touche, explique, s'il, vous détestez ces expressions, si nous luttons pour en arriver à l'essentiel, au corps et aux autres bruits, si un W, un double toit trébuche ici même en privé, il y avait cet homme, disions-nous, partout entre nous, si la parole nous libère, si été, automne, hiver, printemps, le jour télédiffusé me tourne la tête, son sourire coincé là-bas, quand je suis un tigre dans la zone démilitarisée, ou si je suis un homme tigre, si personne ne croit ce que je vois, si derrière le Graal et l'orme nouveau, la lumière rose dit « Bienvenue, terrien », biographie de moi en atomes, photographie de mon sourire, est-ce cela que mon corps disait? Si j'oublie mon carnet, si ces vides que j'éprouve sont aussi les vides à l'intérieur desquels je suis construit pensant « c'est très bien », si le soleil vif et chaud et tranquille mais profond et se clarifiant, arpentant ces boulevards, si attaché par les cordes les plus atroces, si accroupi dans le temps, si chaque jour est une lutte, le taillis bleu sifflant, ciel se voûtant sur rien, si chaque lutte, un camion à glace teinte, interrompant le cosmologique, si chaque jour les querelles, chaque jour las présence, si chaque jour... Est-ce cela que dit mon corps, disait mon copain, et si je meurs et commence à perdre conscience, et le drapeau, il y avait cet homme, a-t-on dit, ce W ici même en privé. Je disais dans ma lettre, si jamais je te revois.
Four. A branch and the scent of pine in summer, the bridge and the water in the creek, the stones and the sound of water, the creek and my body, when hair and water float over me. If I am a bridge I am standing on, thinking, saying goodbye to myself, when I stood by the water in life, thinking of my life, pine boughs in the hill next to water, the sun in the creek on the bridge on my hair, and pine boughs in wind mixed with water, one crow skating by, the life of water, life of thinking and moving, a crow passes by, this place in the mind, on my eyes.
4. Une branche et l'odeur de pin en été, le pont et l'eau de la rivière, les pierres et le bruit de l'eau, la rivière et mon corps, quand les cheveux et l'eau me coulaient dessus. Si je suis un pont où je suis debout, méditant, me disant adieu, quand je suis debout au bord de l'eau en vie, méditant sur ma vie, branche de pin, la colline à côté de l'eau, le soleil dans la rivière sur le pont, sur les cheveux et les branches de pin, dans le vent mêlé à l'eau, un corbeau glissant pas loin, la vie de l'eau, vie de méditation et de mouvement, un corbeau passe pas loin de ce lieu de l'esprit, sur mes yeux.
So the Vocalese day imprinted a sound. I'm not stupid. I too unwind in the most circuitous fashion. I undress water directly. Who hasn't seen unnumbered sparrows enter the silhouette of a tree? Why shouldn't I come in from the cold. Sure, there is the monument, the grass and the plate it grows on. If the answer becomes sun, then sun inside, normal things, okay. The ribbon above our heads is not a banner. Scaling this leafy architecture, we say wind, night sky, moon, clouds, stars. If silver stands for syncopation, indeed, symphonic dailiness is felt order. I have felt it at the back of me, light on the table, the book open. If we struggle for a name, if colors change, if mood is connected to naming, to color, if, say, a ship's in deep water and a piece of sky empties the mind, or when I was frigate-tossed, if I wanted to go all over a word and live inside its name, so be it. There is my body and the idea of my body, the surf breaking and the picture of a wave.
Alors le jour vocalise grava un son. Je ne suis pas stupide. Je me déroule aussi d'une façon des plus chantournées. Je déshabille l'eau directement. Qui n'a pas vu des moineaux sans nombre pénétrer la silhouette d'un arbre? Pourquoi ne devrais-je pas rentrer loin du froid? Bien sûr, il y a le monument, l'herbe et le plateau où elle pousse. Si la réponse devient soleil, puis soleil à l'intérieur, des trucs normaux, ok. Le ruban au-dessus de nos têtes n'est pas une bannière. Escaladant cette architecture feuillue, nous disons vent, ciel nocturne, lune, nuage, étoile. Si argenté vaut pour syncope, la symphonie quotidienne en effet semble un ordre. Je l'ai senti dans mon dos, lumière sur la table, livre ouvert. Si nous luttons pour un nom, si les couleurs changent, si l'humeur est connectée à la nomination, la couleur, si, disons, un navire est en eau trouble et un morceau de ciel vide l'esprit, ou quand je fus frégate ballottée, si je voulais aller partout dans un mot et vivre à l'intérieur de son nom, qu'il en soit ainsi. Il y a mon corps et l'idée de mon corps, l'écume se brisant et la photographie d'une vague.
Small phone. Untitled Amherst Spectre. A sound of open ground having been taken, now a silver wisp winking on the roof, silver imp waving from a long shaft ago. I am a leaf storm night. I have seen the long file of mule trains and metal, the cavalry. These sounds we live within speaking to you now, sir. I was a soldier in these woods.
Spectre sans titre d'Amherst. Un son de clairière qui vient d'être conquise. Maintenant un papier argent papillonnant sur le toit. Lutin d'argent saluant depuis il y a une longue hampe. Je suis une feuille, nuit d'orage. J'ai vu la longue file des trains de mules et métal. La cavalerie, ces sons où nous vivons te parlent maintenant. Chef, je fus un soldat dans ces bois.
This next poem is called A Western Garden, and it's in 9 little bursts. A Western Garden. The fog dictates lost sailors tumbling in the waves. We're almost home, the sine and cosine sing. The clear single azure dome in shiny air, all say. The wood grain is deeper than a forest, deeper than the sea. The solid indication of space in time, these whirls testify this pattern inside. Woe, Saturday, woe, morning. The wind chimes empty the air, sculpt the empty blue. To be here in this light, in this table lamp light, in the overhead table lamp light, to find oneself on a quiet street in a written speech. So often we measure by what is false. We should measure by what is barely legible, barely, in our dailiness. It is the invisible that doesn't lie, the invisible through which we see ourselves finally on a back street in the world. The dark falls fast these afternoons. The edge of sky moves in. The sea and night are the same. The fog and the night are the same. The night is dark by the sea. Can you hear the night? Can you hear the chimes, the sea and the sky? In a Western garden, there are broken tiles, like the broken history, like the objects broke under the rims of the conqueror's wheels. In a Western garden, it gets darker faster. It is home, this dark, this flag, invisible in wind. Standing at nth and twilight, at twilight in liberty, ordinary as molecules. The sun moves along the horizon. Pedestrians float across the esplanade. The form of fire is air. The form of water is air. The form of air, earth, moving, breathing, burning.
Un jardin occidental. Le brouillard dicte les marins perdus, précipités dans les vagues. Nous sommes presque arrivés, chantent sinus et cosinus, disent tous le solitaire dôme d'azur clair et l'air brillant. Le grain du bois est plus profond qu'une forêt, plus profond que la mer. L'indication solide de l'espace dans le temps. Ces spirales certifient le motif à l'intérieur. Ouah, samedi, ouah, matin, les carillons du vent vident l'air, sculptent le bleu vide. Être ici dans cette lumière, sous cette lampe sur la table, cette lampe sur la table et au-dessus de la tête, se trouver dans une rue calme, dans un discours écrit. Si souvent on mesure avec ce qui est faux, on devrait mesurer avec ce qui est à peine lisible, à peine part de notre quotidien. C'est l'invisible qui ne ment pas, l'invisible au travers duquel on se voit enfin dans une rue reculée du monde. Le soir tombe vite ces après-midi, le bord du ciel s'avance, la mer et la nuit sont les mêmes, le brouillard et la nuit sont les mêmes, la nuit est noire près de la mer. Peux-tu entendre la nuit? Peux-tu entendre les carillons, la mer et le ciel? Dans un jardin occidental, il y a des tuiles brisées, comme l'histoire brisée, comme les objets cassent sous les jantes des roues du conquérant. Dans un jardin occidental, il fait nuit plus vite. C'est la maison, cette nuit, ce drapeau invisible, dans le vent. Debout, au coin de énième et crépuscule, au coin de crépuscule et liberté, ordinaires comme des molécules, le soleil mouvant le long de l'horizon, les piétons flottent à travers l'esplanade. La forme du feu est l'air, la forme de l'eau est l'air, la forme de l'air, la terre, mouvant, respirant, brûlant.
That last poem, A Western Garden, I wrote when I was in San Francisco working on Jack Spicer. I remember the first time I came to California, it was years ago, and I was asked, what did I think of California? And this Navy jet flew by. I was in San Diego, and I was like, wow, this is is the ultimate end of Western civilization, we can say that the project of Western civilization has been a failure. And the people I was with didn't think it was funny. But I meant it. But I like California. I tend to like things that fail better. All right, this was going to take a little bit longer. Sorry. This is one of the two. The Outer National happens twice in this book as a title poem. And, okay, this will be interesting. I just want to actually hear it in French. I don't actually want to read it in English. I really want to hear it in French. You could read, I could read some other poems. No, okay, it won't work. This has an epigraph from Core in Hell from William Carlos Williams. And one has emotions for the strangest things. The Outer National. So the bird's in the hand, and now what? The penny shiny in the dark belly of Mr. Piggy. The day dawns and may be in trouble of actually going anywhere. Trees migrate secretly upward. They might be saying all we need to be here if we would only stop talking and listen up. I love you, said the wood, one sonic color into the egregious public air. Start from nothing and belong to it. I guess the rosy and bluish streaks move counter to the feelings exposed beneath them, the signal and its noise, itsy, antsy, oid, so many strangers alive in a larynx. So much depends on X, so much more on the book in your hand. Start from nothing and let the sound reach you. There is that field in the window once again, and to write of this field again is certainly a failure of any inward rigor or life. To live certainly on the surface in ed, or things pinging off the metal empty core, scrolling for a perfect tune to cue the mood, outraged or bittersweet, vintage, etc., and emptier than the supra-empty of the mood stabilizer, flat line, less likely the cold parts of the car body. Why can't I just admit I'm dead, have been dead since I met me, metreality, unseen and undone by the no-time I was raised into, out of the incubator, obic, epigistic, the stain of the world got on me. You see it on TV, everyday weather and the everyday weatherman. The car racing into a slow fade, rain opening the next shot, falling everywhere, around the boy falling digitally just now as you read this. It is always raining in pictures inside this feeling of mercy, NCS, or this writing along the edge, which is, of course, writing about hope. If we could only open our hardware to rewrite the software down deep, the body coming to inside this wooden structure, archaeology, ocracy, skylark, do you have anything to say to me? Have you come as a flower on the hill? I am beside you, alive in the folds of your parka. Have you a single new idea? Yes, I carry the oldest ones. Who will live inside this song? Is it only sand, the voice of sand, Mandius, Ischius, Rex? The box is spitting electromagnetic lies into the room again. I get sick and weak just gawking to find myself already full of onions and laughter, Ilian, isthmus, arrogance. I don't want to go there. Don't want the lockdown, the bray, the cobbled headgear. Can't it be clear, can't it? So often the inklings, the starter round, the jerk and ha of morning. But the instants, the leg walks, and for a blip, open sky, unshackling a bad history. Nothing more personal than headlines. But what of the colors in the new season sky? It is only where spring and death meet, sigh. Elation, who says we are lacking in courage? The most forgotten history is often the best. Best? Ruined tar paper against brick factory lots, brick, smokestack, sky. Even the light fades badly. These old windows bend the world. I could never find my way there, and now we are only here. That's something more than spectacular sunsets, fading shafts on water. With each one dies a world. Or an empty casement letting light in, bricolaged alive for a moment, and then obfuscation of late afternoon. If only I knew then what I know to be outside my head, rain-washed and open. Can't one stumble beyond the cheap effects of planet light, planet tilt, and all that Google? Once the sweet laughter of indestructibility cackled from my mouth. No hiding the pain, my body was in space, and the empathy born of earthly gravity, earthly sentience weighted to the bed, the floor, the street, the planet, mania, poleless, meant. Such cruelty comes from lack of everything, or so I imagine, having failed to save anyone from anything in this empty house. From this empty, empty house in first dull winter light staring hard into spackle. How could I save anyone from the truly gnarly unnecessariosis of a steel wind off a boulevard rich with dog shit and perfume, carbon monoxide and subway grates, the confusion of sex and death, of childhood and decay, of sideway glances and dinnish noises, of all things dented and almost destroyed amidst the once of beauty and ankle bracelets, the whole wide whirl of economics charted on a dartboard in bed sheets. Onomy, Ilian, Asian. The time to breathe is now. There will be no time to think, but perhaps you have no doubt. I would like to expose doubt itself, to open up the mechanics of want, ivorous, epic-esque, so someone can feel it. So someone can feel it and break it down inside themselves, to rip out the gears and belts, to empty once and for all expectation, that guitar sound of young adult life, ectric, philia, fight. The radio backdrop speckled and moving, the car window specked and the sky moving, the neighborhood coming into view. So the new poverty is just like the old poverty. The system has been upgraded, but the light dishwater is mucking up the mood. Whoever said absolute powerlessness corrupts? Absolutely. Does it get any better? Jeweled spots translucent over the windshield, now pierced in white stinging hood, holic, hedron, the cellular body fuzzed out in the sun, oversaturated in Polaroid reddish brown. Where are we going in the mechanical seconds of this handheld movie, this color that touches down? If we could say the world has changed, it has changed. If we could say the world is the same, then so it is. But nothing changes everything, and we know this. We earn this the hard way. Even the beloved evolves into nothing, unction, iction. For all its iron and science, a bridge expands over foliage. The river dappled with wind and speed, and the sensation of night. Throw back your head to the milky tears, all types and shapes of silent light. Hear the crab, the bear, the dipper, the wheel, and the little tightnesses that keep us wanting, the wanting that keeps us looking hard into the dark we hope to unpack and look and move into, that one day we might find ourselves lit up. That was a nightmare. Did you actually hear any of it? Seriously. I don't believe any of you. That's okay. Well, I mean, what the fuck? It's like 8 o'clock. I mean, sorry. It's just like, what is happening? Good luck.
Yeah. Donc il y a une épigraphe de Carlos Williams de Corée aux Enfers que je ne vais pas traduire pour l'instant parce que je n'ai pas trouvé la traduction. L'externational,